Shalom, Yasha This brother Mapathak, right? That'll be key, but in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, right? And this is going to be a video going into not being enticed with the pleasures of this world, right? Not being conformed unto the world, right? Not being jealous of evildoers. You understand? You see your friends you used to hang out with in the world, right? They're able to still fulfill the lust of their flesh, right? And partake in the pleasures of this world. You understand? And now you kind of sitting back thinking like, man, if I was still in the world, I could have been doing this. Maybe I would have had more money, right? Maybe I would have had this woman or I would have had that woman, right? We can't get caught up in these things. You understand? And before we go into it, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. That's all praises to the Most High God, whose name is Yahweh, and the name of His only begotten Son, who the world will ignorantly call Jesus Christ. But we know Him as Yahushai, the righteous in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, right? We're gonna dive right into this thing with the book of Ecclesiastes, right? So we can't be caught up with the ways of this world, man. Right? So this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse number 2, right? It says, it is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. So it's better to be in the house of mourning than to be in the house of feasting, right? Always in the club, always at the next party, the next get together, right? Damn, buying pizza, right? Getting drunk, right? And playing loud music, man, right? Smoking weed. It's better to be in the house of mourning, man, right? It's better to be thinking about the things your forefathers went through. It's better to be going through affliction and trials, you understand, than to be getting drunk and being merry every day, right? So it says that it's better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, right? And the living will lay it to his heart. Verse 3, sorrow is better than laughter. So the Lord said it's better to be in a state of sorrow than in a state of mirth, right? In a state of always laughing. You're always damn laughing. You're always damn having a good time, right? And but the Lord said it's better to be in a state of sorrow, man. You understand? It says, for by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better, right? So the Lord said, for by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better, right? Because when you're in this going through trials, you're going through affliction, right? You're meditating on the words of the Lord. You're meditating on you're meditating on mourning, right? You're meditating on woe, lamentation, right? Hey, it's better to be always in all matters of folly, right? Because you actually see what's going on in the world around you instead of just playing all damn day. Like Craig told Smokey and Friday, man, you walk up and down the damn street all day playing, and you don't know what's going on around you. You don't understand the fact that you're in captivity. You don't understand the fact that your people are being killed every day by the police. You don't understand the fact that the police and the so-called white man is putting guns in the neighborhood so we can kill each other, putting drugs in the neighborhood so we can kill each other, right? But you just walk up and down the street playing all day, man, right? And it says, it is better, Salakia, I'm going to read verse 4 again. It says, the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, right? But the heart of the fools is in the house of mirth. Verse 5, it is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools, right? So the Lord said it's better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. And the more you read, the more you're meditating on the word, you're constantly being reproved and rebuked by the wise, right? By your forefathers. You understand? And ultimately by the Lord, because they all speak it through the Spirit of the Lord, right? So it's better to hear the rebuke of the wise. It's better to be in the scriptures, right? It's better to be reproved by a wise man, right? Than to be sitting around listening to the songs of fools, man, right? Somebody's going to tell you, man, you better go get that money, man. Man, you better bag up that dope and go do what you got to do, man. Hey, man, he disrespected you. Hey, man, here go a 45, man. Go get rid of him, man. Right? That's all foolishness, man. That's folly and madness. Understand? The Lord said it's better to hear the rebuke of the wise than the songs of fools. That's a song of fools, man. Right? And then you literally have Jake with their music that literally talks about nothing but murder, right? Talks about robbery, talks about adultery, right? All matters of wickedness, right? Literally the songs of fools, right? But it's better to hear the rebuke of the wise. It's better to be in these scriptures, right? Because this is ultimately the house of mourning, right? Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 2 and verse 9, right? Because these scriptures is literally the house of mourning, right? Check this out. This is Ezekiel 2 and 9. It says, and when I looked and behold, a hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein, right? So Ezekiel got the scriptures. Verse 10, and he spread it before me, and it was written, within and without, and there was written therein lamentations and mourning. Right? So Ezekiel said when he opened up this, when he got this scroll, it was written therein lamentation and mourning. Because that's what we see in the scriptures. We see lamentation and mourning in the scriptures. Right? These scriptures are literally the house of mourning. When you get into the scriptures, you're reading about our forefathers, what they went through. Right? The times they were thrown in fiery furnaces. Right? The times they were thrown in lions' dens, thrown in prisons. Right? We're literally in a house of mourning. Right? And when we read about our people being sent to America on slave ships, right? How the conditions that were on the slave ships, things like that. Hey, that's us being in the house of mourning, right? It says, and when I looked, behold, a hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein, and he spread it before me, and it was written there, written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe. So throughout the scriptures, you read about lamentation, you read about mourning, and you read about death and destruction throughout the scriptures. You understand, right? Let's go to Revelation 10. So we have to understand these things. It's better to be in these scriptures than to be listening to loud music all day, getting high, right? Laying with the woman of your dreams, right? Making fast money, right? Walking around being the flyest on the block, right? As Jake would say, right? Which is all folly and vanity. You understand? And sometimes you can easily be enticed with this world, right? Sometimes it gets hard. Sometimes you look at these other, you look at wicked Jake, you look at these other nations, and you think like, damn, they can just do whatever they want to. Right? But hey, we got to follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. And that's just your flesh talking, right? Your flesh want to go back and do these things. You understand? Your flesh want to be wicked, man. Your flesh is contrary to your spirit. We read about that in Galatians 5, right? Verse, I believe it's verse 16 on down, right? But, and that's just, part of the battle, man, right? That's just what it is. The Lord is a man of war, and we have that spiritual war with our flesh versus our, spirit. Right, that's why brothers can't wait to get out of these corruptible bodies, man, because sometimes it can get hard, right? But when it get hard, hey, what you got to do? You got to call upon the name of the Lord, man, right? The Lord is going to push you through through the furnace, right? The Lord is going to make it hard for you like he did Job. It's not supposed to be easy, right? So this is the book of Revelation, chapter 10 and verse 8. And it reads, and the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again and said, go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. Right? And I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. And he said unto me, take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, right? But it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. So that the words of the Lord, like I was going into, is the house of mourning. You understand? It's a house of mourning, man. Right? Because certain things you read, it can make your belly bitter. When Yahweh Shai tell you, hey, you gotta hate your life, man. Right? A lot of things you might have loved in the world, man. You might have loved hanging out with your friends you had in the world, your cousins, your so-called brothers, man. Right? But you got to be willing to give all these things up, right? A lot of things is not easy to do in this thing, man. Right? But you got to be willing to do these things for the Lord, right? You might read about the fact that, hey, somebody's favorite food might have been damn pork bacon. Hey, now you can't eat that pork no more, right? Whatever it may be. Right? It's hard to give up some things, man. Right? But I'm going to read it again. It says, and I heard from heaven spake unto me again and said, go and take the little book which is open. So like at verse 9. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. And he said unto me, take it and eat it up. And it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. And another point, hey, sisters might think it's hard to wear a dress every day. That might make a sister's belly bitter. You understand? It's just many different things that might make your belly bitter in this thing. You might read the prophecies and see you might have to be put to death for this truth. You might have to be persecuted and locked up in prison like Paul was. You understand? For this truth, right? And these things might make your belly bitter, right? And it says, verse 10. So like I'm going to read the latter end of that verse again. It says, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey, right? But when you first eat this thing up, it's sweet as honey, right? You're like, I'm an Israelite. Yahweh Shai died for me. I know the true name of Yahweh Shai and the Most High God, right? Hey, you learn a bunch of beautiful things that might be in your mouth sweet as honey, right? But once you digest it and you start to get deeper into the prophecies, you get deeper into the understanding, Satan start to attack you. Right, hey, and things could get a little harder, man. Right, so lucky. I want to go back to that. When you digest this thing, it get a little harder, man. right? But verse 10, it says, and I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. So John said, when I first got the word in my mouth, I'm like, oh yeah, it's sweet, man. Everything good, right? And then he started to digest it. He started to get more understanding. Hey, and it became bitter. Salaki, it became bitter unto his belly, man. Right? So that's just what this word is. It's the house of mourning, man. But the Lord said it's better to dwell in the house of mourning than in the house of mirth. Right? In the house of feasting. Let's go to Hebrews 11 and 24. Right? Let's read about and we just flip right to it. Let's read about Moses. Right? So this is the book of Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 24, and it reads, by faith Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. So Moses forsook his pleasures, right? He said, I don't want to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. You got to think about it. Being the son of Pharaoh's daughter is like being a damn president's son, man. Right? Being the president's daughter's son. Right? You can have anything you want in this world. You can have any woman you want, any car, right? Any house. Right? That's what it's like. That's the opportunity that Moses had in Egypt. You understand? We're living in modern day Egypt, right? It says, but I'm going to read verse 24 again. Hebrews 11 and 24. It says, by faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. So Moses, hey, he gave that all up to serve the Most High God, to suffer with his brothers and sisters, right? To suffer with his fellow Israelites, man. That's mighty as hell. Right, he had everything he wanted in the world. Right, being under Pharaoh, being the son of Pharaoh's daughter, he could have had anything he wanted in Egypt, man. Right, he could have did anything he wanted in Egypt, man. He had power, he had authority. Right, hey, man, he could have did anything he wanted. That's just what it is. It's plain. Hey, but he gave all that up to suffer affliction, man. He gave all that up to serve the Most High God. And how much more us when we look around and we're like, hey, if I go back into the world, I may be able to do this. I could probably be a rap star. I could probably be a drug dealer that makes tons of money, right? I could probably lay down with all these wicked women I want to lay down with, right? Hey, these are kind of thoughts that go through your carnal mind, man. You understand? But we have to be like Moses, right? We have to choose rather to suffer affliction, to go through trials, right? To go through this fiery furnace, right? Than to damn walk in this wicked world, man, right? And it says, I'm going to read verse 25 again. It's a heavy verse. It says, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season, man. So he said, I don't care about having the pleasures of sin. And it's only going to be for a season, right? You're going to regret it all at the end. And you have to keep that in the back of your mind, right? When Satan kind of try to whisper in your ear and say, remember this, right? Hey, you could have did this, man, right? If you weren't serving the Lord, you could have did this. This was Satan. Satan kind of jump on your shoulder. He whispering in your ear. Hey, and he tries to entice you, man. Right? But hey, the pleasures of sin is only for a season, right? It's all vanity, right? So don't give up this truth for the pleasures of sin, man. Right? And I'm gonna read that again. Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season, man. That's heavy, man. Right? That's heavy. And it says, esteeming the reproach of Yahushua greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, right? And it says, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. So he esteemed the reproach of Yahushua greater than the treasures that he had in Egypt. Because like I was going into, he was the son of Pharaoh's daughter. He could have anything he wanted in Egypt, right? But he said, man, I'm going to suffer for the Lord, right? That's mighty. That's mighty. That's like you right now being in America. You were the president's daughter's son. You could drive any Bentley you want to, any Rolls Royce you wanted to, have any woman you wanted, right? You could be whatever you wanted to be. You could have been it. A rap star, a TV star, had all the money in the world. Hey, but you said, man, forget that. I'm gonna go and suffer with my people, man. Right? That's mighty, man. That requires a lot of faith, right? And that's what Hebrews 11 is really about. It's about faith. So this was really an account of Moses' faith. You understand? That's a mighty, mighty account, man. Right? Let's go to Psalms 37. Right? So like I'm going into, hey, a lot of times you can get enticed with this world, right? You can be envious, right? A lot of times you can get envious. You look around like, damn, they have the leisure to do this, right? They can fulfill their flesh by doing this. they can do this, right? You look at the wicked, you look at wicked Jake, you look at these other nations, and sometimes you get envious, you understand? But this is what the Lord said. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 1, and it reads, "Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity." So, but we can't do that, man. Right? The Lord said, "Fret not yourself because of evildoers, and neither be thou envious of the workers of iniquity." So don't look at the next brother and be like, they can do this, they can do that, right? They can, because a lot of times, hey man, I deal with it a lot, man. Sometimes you look at your old friends and you know, like, hey, you just know the things you could have been doing to make money or whatever it may be, man. Right? So Salakia. Salakia. I'm gonna read this again. This Psalms 37 and verse 1 from the top. It says, "Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb." But the Lord said he's going to soon cut them down. So don't be envious of these evildoers, man, because the Lord is going to cut them down eventually. Like I was saying earlier, it's all vanity at the end of the day, man. Right? Everything, hey, all the fast cars, all the big houses, everything is going to be burnt down, man. They're going to be cut down, right? So it's all vanity. Verse 3, it says, "Trust in the Lord and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed." So we just got to put our trust in the Lord, right? We just have to do good, man, right, in the sight of the Lord. And the Lord said, "So shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed," right? And we're going to dwell in Jerusalem. We're going to dwell in the kingdom, right? And we're going to be fed anything we want in the kingdom, man. Right? So imagine giving that up just to live in pleasure and sin in this wicked kingdom, man, just for a short time, man. Right? Just pleasure in your flesh, right? Verse 4, it says, "Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart." And as long as you delight in the Lord, everything your heart desires, the Lord is going to give it to you, man. Right? Literally everything your heart desires. You can't even fathom the things that the Lord can give you in the kingdom of heaven. Right? Things that's not even written in the scriptures that the Lord is going to give you in the kingdom of heaven. The Lord said your heart's desires, man. That's so heavy. Right? The Lord said your heart's desires, he's going to give them to you, man. Anything you want, you're going to have it in the kingdom of heaven, man. Right? So you can't let the pleasures of sin entice you, man. You can't let this road entice you, right? Don't let Satan entice you, because he's constantly whispering in your ear, "I can give you this. All you got to do is stop serving the Lord and I'll give you this." Right? I know you didn't have it before, but if you stop serving the Lord, I'll give you this. Anything you want, I can make you this. That's what Satan does, man. Right? But we can't hearken unto Satan. We're hearkening unto the Lord. Right? Until death, Lord willing. Right? In verse 5, it says, "Commit thy way unto the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass." So don't be envious of these men that's prospering in this world. Right? Because that's what it is. This is Satan's kingdom. So that's why the wicked, they prosper. Right? You might look at a wicked man and you see him prosper and you're like, "Hey, I want to do what he doing. Hey, I want to be in that position he in." Right? That's your flesh speaking to you. Right? But through the spirit, you know, hey, this all wickedness and it's all vanity, man. Right? It doesn't amount to anything. All right? Let's go to Salakia, Proverbs 24 and 1. Right? Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 24 and verse 1. And it reads, it's the book of Proverbs, chapter 24 and verse 1, and it reads, "Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them," man. So that's plain. Don't be envious against evil men and neither desire to be with them. Right? So like the example I keep bringing up, you might have some of your old friends that keep trying to entice you to come do certain things, right? To come back into the world, do this. We got this opportunity, right? Hey, don't desire to be with them, man. Right? You serving the Lord, man. Right? The Lord is going to give you everything your heart's desire. They can't, this world don't have nothing to offer to a men of the Lord. Right? This world doesn't have anything to offer an Israelite, man. Right? But vanity. Right? So let's go to Jeremiah 12. Because even so when you start to feel like that, right? Hey, remember, even our forefathers dealt with that, with Satan, getting in their ear and making them jealous of the workers of the sinners in this world, man. Right? Those that prosper in this world. Our forefathers felt the same way. Right? King David felt the same way. That's what we just read about it. Right? Let's go to Jeremiah 12. Jeremiah felt the same way. He kind of asked the Lord, why are they allowed to prosper? Right? They're wicked. Right? Why are they prospering? Right? Our forefathers felt the same way. Right? So this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 12 and verse 1, and it reads, righteous art thou, O Lord, when I plead with thee, yet let me talk with thee of thy judgments. So Jeremiah kind of went up to the Lord and said, Lord, let me talk to you about your judgments, man. This is what Jeremiah was saying. Right? It says, where doeth the way of the wicked prosper? Wherefore are all they happy that deal very treacherously? So Jeremiah said, why do the wicked prosper? And why are they happy that deal treacherously? Why are these wicked men so happy? Right? Why are they prospering? Jeremiah was asking the Lord this. He said, let me ask you about your judgments, Lord. Right? And it says, thou hast planted them, yea, they have taken root, they grow, yea, they bring forth fruit. Thou art near in their mouth and far from their reins. Right? So the Lord, Jeremiah telling the Lord, he said, they don't have you in their hearts, man. They don't really have the love of God in their hearts, man. Right? They speak about you, but they don't really love you, and yet you allow them to prosper, man. So don't think you're the only one that's dealing with that. Even our mightiest forefathers dealt with the same thing. Even the mightiest prophets dealt with the same thing, man. Right? I deal with it a lot, man. Right? Satan constantly try to entice you and massage you and say, yeah, man, just look what I got for you, man. Come into the world. Stop saying Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Right? I can give you pleasures on this earth. I can give you the woman you want. I can give you the money you want. Right? I can give you everything you want. That's what Satan kind of whispers in your ear and says. Right? But you have to be strong enough to say, hey, no. Man, I'm going to serve the Lord, man. Right? You can't be ignorant of the devices of Satan, because that's going to be the quickest way for you to be snatched out of this truth. Right? You being blind and ignorant and gullible, man. Right? You have to have spiritual discernment. You know, if a man come up to you and say a certain thing, you're like, okay, that's Satan. That's Satan right there. Right? And sometimes somebody might come up to you and say something, you be like, that might be the Lord. I think I needed to hear that. I think the Lord wanted me to hear that. Right? You have to perceive these things through the spirit. Right? You can't just be blind and gullible, man. Right? Even in the world, man, in the left hand side, you can't be gullible on this thing. Believe in everything you hear, man. Right? The Lord said a fool believeth every word. Right? If Yahweh Shai was gullible, Yahweh Shai would have been like, you can give me all these kingdoms? Okay. If Yahweh Shai was gullible, he would have jumped off the damn cliff when Satan tempted him to jump off the cliff. But he said, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God, man. He wasn't gullible, man. He knew what was going on. Right? So you can't be gullible in this thing. Right? And if you is gullible, you got to pray that the Most High God give you discernment in these last days. So let's go to Psalm chapter 73 and verse 2. And it reads, but as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. Right? Salakia. Salakia. It says, for I was envious of the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. It say, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men, man. So you would see them, you would see the things they go through, and you would be like, man, they're not plagued as other men. They don't go through what I go through, but yet they're wicked. So why is the Lord allowing them to prosper? Why did the Lord allow them to live in luxury, man, if they're wicked, right? So this is how King David felt. It says, that's all I wanted on that. So we can't be envious of the wicked in this thing, man. We can't be jealous of the wicked in this thing, man. Let's go to Proverbs 21. Go to Proverbs 21. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 17. It reads, he that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. It say, right? So that's plain. Right? If you love pleasure, you're going to be a poor man in the spirit. right? You're going to destroy yourself spiritually, because it all goes back to dwelling in the house of feasting, right? If you're constantly in the house of feasting, that means you don't really pay attention to what's going on around you in the world. You have no spiritual understanding, man, right? You just you're all about pleasuring your flesh, right? So it says, he that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man, and he that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich. And if you're just always trying to get drunk, you're always trying to have a good time, right? You're never trying to grow in understanding, right? You're never trying to grow in faith, whatever it may be, nothing spiritual. You just want to have a good time. That's all you care about. You don't know nothing about what's going on around you in the world. You don't even know that bombs done dropped in Ukraine. You just know you're trying to pop a bottle in the morning and smoke a blunt, man, right? And you're a damn fool, right? That's just what it comes down to. You're a damn fool. All you know is scroll up and down Instagram with a blunt in your mouth, right? Kind of holding a damn blunt in your mouth, right? You got a bottle on the side of you, just scrolling up and down Instagram all day, trying to find Eve, a harlot, man, right? Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 19. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 5, and it reads, whoso taketh pleasure in wickedness shall be condemned. And if you take pleasure in wickedness, right, if you take pleasure in the wicked ways of this world, you're going to be condemned, right? You're going to be put to death. You're going to be destroyed, right? It says, but he that resisteth pleasures crowneth his life. And if you resist the pleasures of this world, like Moses did, hey, you're going to crown your life, man, right? You're going to inherit that crown from Yahweh Shai. You're going to receive everlasting life. You have to resist pleasures in this thing, man, right? No matter how enticing it may be, you have to resist them, right? You have to tell Satan to kind of get out of here, man. Right? I'm gonna bring this out, right? Because I paraphrased it earlier, but I want to bring it out, because that's how Satan get down. Satan tries his hardest to entice you, right? Satan comes in many different forms, right? But one of his main attacks is try to entice you with the lust of your flesh. Right, try to entice you with the pleasures of this world. Right, so this is the book of Matthew, chapter 4 and verse 1. It says, then was Yahweh Shai led of the spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward in hunger. And when the tempter came to him, right, and that's another name for Satan, man, the damn tempter. Right, it says, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, it is written, man should not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High. Right? But I want to kind of jump down and get straight to the point. Verse 8. It says, again, the devil taketh him up into a exceeding high mountain, and showing him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and said unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. And this is what Satan does, man. Right? He said, all these things will I give thee. All you got to do is fall down and worship me. Stop worshiping the Father and worship me, man. Right, and I will give you all the pleasures of this world, man. Right, and in verse 9 it says, and said unto him, all these things were like in verse 10. Then Yahweh Shai said unto him, get thee hence, Satan. And that's what we gotta say, man. Hey, get up out of here, Satan. Brother's not dealing with that, Satan. Right, kind of get him out of here, man. You gotta rebuke Satan in this thing. It says, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. And you gotta keep that in mind, man. That, we're going to worship the Most High God and him only, man. That's it, man. That's just what it is. You understand? So that's what you got to tell Satan in this thing, right? Anytime you start to get enticed with this world, or you starting to get jealous of evildoers, remember, it's not about the pleasures of this world, man. We want to inherit the kingdom of heaven. We want everlasting life, man, right? We want everlasting rest, right? We want to never have to cry again, man, right? We want to never have to feel pain again, man. Right? Never have to see and feel sorrow again. Never have to stress again. Never have to work for another white man again, man. That's what we want, man. We don't care about the pleasures for this little season, man. Right? That's mighty. Let's go to 1 Timothy 5. That's mighty, man. That's what it's all about. Let's go to 1 Timothy 5 and verse 6, right? It's the book of 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 6, and it reads, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth, right? And it says, she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. And that goes for the brothers too. If you live in pleasure, you're a dead man walking. You're like Undertaker, right? Damn dead man walking, right? Like damn Undertaker, man. Right? If you're living in pleasure, you're dead while you live, because that means you're just living according to your flesh. And in Romans chapter 8, verse 5 on down, we can read about how the Lord said the carnal mind is death, man. Right? If you're just all day, you're just being living after the lust of your flesh, you allowing your flesh to control you, you're just a dead man walking. You have no type of spirituality with you, man. Right? You're not being spiritually minded. Right? You're dead, man. Right? So let me read that again. 1 Timothy 5 and 6. It says, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth, man. Right? So you're just a dead man walking. Right? So let's go to Luke. So that's why you got to be spiritually minded in this thing, man. Right? You have to try your best to walk in the spirit. Pursuing the Galatians chapter 5 and verse 22. We have to walk in the spirit. Right? You should always be thinking about the Most High, man. Anytime the Most High God is not on your mind, you're being idle-minded. That's when Satan kind of creep in there, man. But when you're staying steadfast in the scriptures, hey, it's just a little easier to fight Satan off. But when you're being idle, hey, he kind of grab you up, kind of put you in a damn chokehold, right? Kind of breaking out of it a little bit. You open your Bible for 2 minutes, right? You close it back up. Now he grab you up again. Now he got you in the damn ankle lock, man. Right? Now he kind of pick you up and damn you, man. The damn John Cena's finishing move, man. He kind of getting in there, man. Kind of letting Satan whoop your ass, man. But when you got this on you, that double-edged sword, hey, there's not much you can do, man. Hey, we gonna kind of fight it out, right? But once you put your sword down, hey, Satan kind of get on your ass, man. Let's go to Luke 15. Satan to kind of get on you, man. He kind of beat you down, right? So this is the book of Luke chapter 15 and verse 11, and it reads, and he said, a certain man had 2 sons, and the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of the goods that falleth to me. And he divided unto them his living, right? And it says, and not many days after, the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country, and there wasted his substance with riotous living, right? So this brother, right, he wasted all his substance, right? I could go to your wisdom, your knowledge, and understanding, right? You walking with the Most High God. He wasted all of that with riotous living, right? With the pleasure of his flesh, right? And it says, and when he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine in that land, and he began to be in want, right? And it says, and he went and joined himself to the citizen of that country, and he sent him into his fields to feed swine, right? Salakia. I'm trying to find a specific part of this. Salakia, I'm going to read on. It says, and he would have fain fill his belly with the husk of that swine that the swine did eat, and no man gave unto him, right? So he wasted all his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? He wasted everything he had for the pleasures of this world, with riotous living, right? And it says, and when he came to himself, he said, how many hired servants of my father's have bread enough to spare, and I perish with hunger, right? Salakia. Yeah, that's all I wanted on that. That's what I wanted on that. So he wastes everything he had on the pleasures of this world. So that's like, if you come into this truth, you get these different understandings of the different breakdowns. You know how to break down Revelation 17, Revelation 16, Revelation 18, Revelation 19, Isaiah, the 21st chapter, Isaiah, the 24th chapter, right? Whatever it may be, you learn how to get these different breakdowns. You get the understanding of the Most High God, what makes the Most High God angry, what makes the Most High God delight in you, right? You learn all these different things, these different secrets, right? The Lord rests the Spirit upon you and just start to sup with you, right? Yahweh Shai literally starts to sup with you through the Spirit, and you just say, man, I'm gonna give it all up for the pleasures of this world, man. Right? That's pretty much what this brother did. You understand? Hey, and we can't do that in these last days, man. Right? We have to continue to endure unto the end. Let me get another one. Right? Let's go to the book of Hebrews. You have to continue to endure unto the end in this thing, man. Right? That's Sirach 4 and 28. Right? Strive for the truth unto death. And the Lord is going to fight for you. Right? Salaki, what I just called Hebrews 12. Bear with me. Kind of working with a new sword, man. Right? Kind of got to break this thing open. Right? So this is the book of Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1, and it reads, Wherefore, seeing we are also compassed with so a great cloud of witnesses, right? And that great cloud of witnesses being our forefathers, Isaiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, all our Moses, right? Our different forefathers, right? That have been witnesses to the faith. And it says, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. So a lot of times, man, hey, you're gonna constantly be tempted, right? You're gonna constantly be tried, but you have to continue to run this race with patience, man, because this thing is a race, man. We're constantly pressing towards the mark, but the race is not to the swift. It's not to the fastest. It's an endurance race. You understand? This thing is an endurance race, man. Right? Because you can come into this thing faster than everybody else. You get more understanding than everybody else, way faster. Right? You just getting this thing. The Lord just put a spirit on you to really just get this thing, to come into this thing and eat it all up. Hey, but that doesn't matter if you don't endure into the end, man. Right? So it's all about endurance, man. Right? I had another precept in mind. Bear with me. Kind of forgot what I wanted. Let's go to Acts though. And we know the classic, Mark 13:13. He that endures into the end, the same should be saved, man. Right? So it's all about endurance. But this is the book of Acts, chapter 20 and verse 24. And it reads, but none of these things move me. Right? So don't let nothing in this world move you. And this is Paul talking about bonds and affliction, being in prison for the word. Right? But this is on a spiritual level, this could be dealing with anything, man. Any temptation, right? And I just thought of the precept I wanted to as well. And I'm going to close out with that. It says, but none of these things move me, neither count I my life dear unto myself, so that I might finish my course with joy in the ministry which I have received of the Lord Yahushai, to testify the gospel of the grace of the Most High, man. So don't let anything in this world move you, man, no matter what it is. No matter if it's time to be locked up for this word. Hey, you might about to be put to death for this word. Hey, but never forsake the Lord, man. Right? Never give up your faith, man. Right? You got to strive for this truth unto death. Right? And I want to bring this out and close out, right? Hey, and Passover is coming up, man. So Satan is trying harder than ever. Satan is trying to sift you all as wheat, man. But you have to continue to endure, right? And the weaker you get, the more you cast your burdens into the Most High God, right? Don't get weak and become faint-hearted. Now you don't want to pray no more. Now you kind of just making haste. You don't know what to do. Because next thing you know, you'll be out of this truth, man. Right? Call a brother. Right? Pray to the Most High God. Right? Get into the scriptures, man. You understand? Proclaim a fast. Right? So this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13. And it reads, there have no temptation taking you but such as is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that you may be able to bear it. Right? So the Most High God, no matter what you go through in this thing, the Lord will never tempt you above that you are able to endure through, man. Right? He's always going to make a way for you to be able to bear the temptation that he puts upon you. Right? He might think you're stronger than another brother. So he might tempt you 100 times worse than he will the next brother. Right? Because he's like, hey, he's going to be able to bear it. Right? But hey, the point is, man, don't be enticed with the pleasures of this world, and don't easily fall back into this thing. Don't be envious evildoers in this thing, man. Right? And Lord willing, this is edifying. Lord willing, brothers and sisters got the understanding thereof through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Right? Continue to read, continue to fast, continue to study, continue to pray, continue to fast, continue to love your brothers and sisters in this thing. Right? Hey, and continue to endure right through the spirit. Right? I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Right? And I want to give a mighty shalom to the mighty brothers and sisters that tuned in. Right? Shalom, Yasha Allah.